morning, guys. We're off to a pretty lazy start this morning. It's about 8 o'clock, or yeah, 8 o'clock on the dot actually, and we're just leaving the marina now. There's a bit of swell out there, so it's probably going to be a bit of a lumpy day. A lot of weed around, but I haven't been out in the boat for what feels like forever, so it's been at least a couple of weeks. I'm itching to get out there and do something, so we're going to try and see if we can hit the Demersals a bit this morning, and see if we can't get a pig snapper or this is a nice pinky, or a dewy or baldy. It's a good sized baldy. So I'll see you out there. Alright guys, anyone who watches my channel knows I'm a big fan of jigs, so I got these little octopus jigs. They look great. I don't know how well they're going to work. They didn't cost very much, only a couple of bucks each. I got them off of the shop that shall not be named, Temu. Where they were just so good looking, I thought I had to give them a go. So what I want to do is try and chuck a couple of these down today and give them a test, because I reckon they just look like a little snapper lollipop. Alright, let's see. There's definitely some fish down there. Old mate out here trolling his lures past us on his jet ski. Obviously hoping for some tuna. You do get a lot of tuna out here, so there's definitely some surface action there. I don't know if that's weed or what that is. School of bait. Wow. Oh yeah, school of bait there. Yeah, look at that. Definitely some bait there, which is good. I'll try a surface bait as well as the bottom bait, so blip bloop time. Alright, first things first, we'll get the little jig out. Temu jig. It's a pretty slow sinking jig, so it'll take a little while to get to the bottom. When that gets down there, I'll let it jig around and do its own thing. Back the drag off. I'll let it jig around in the rod holder and do its own thing and get a surface bait rigged up, because that school of bait fish looked pretty promising. I mean, there wasn't a lot of big arches underneath it, but you know, bait doesn't usually free swim around out here too long without getting eaten by something, so it's worthwhile sticking the muley out there and giving it a test. There's a lot of current again today. That's a good thing. Usually when there's a good current out here, I do pretty well, so hopefully that's the case again today. A lot of swell out here today. Oh, surely that's on the bottom. Leave that for a second. Get our floater rig out. It's got a single J hook on there. Like that, straight out the back. That's it. Let that do its thing. So that'll just sit out there and waft around, and there's a fair bit of current, so it should sort of stay up off the bottom. But even if it does make its way down gradually, then it's not such a bad thing, because it'll hopefully land us a pinky or something if it can't get something on the surface while it's sinking. Oh, more like a cube. Cube of muley on there, just like that. See how that goes. Because there's a bit of current, what I'm going to do is just cast that up drift, so I can get a little bit more vertical on it by the time it's on the bottom. Alright, well, something's eaten that little Temu jig. Feels like a little pinky, to be honest, but it's not real big. Just coming up a bit slower. Could be a skippy actually, the way it's sort of pumping, but No, it's a little pinky. Okie doke. Well, there's the first fish. Little pink snapper. Nice healthy little fish. He'll release well. There he goes. Straight down. I'm not in really deep water here, so generally speaking the smaller fish release pretty good. A little bit too frozen, but anyway. Oh, yeah, there we go. That's a little bit better fish. Come to Damo. I'll go slow just in case. It's a little dewy because it does feel a little dewy-esque. Maybe a pinky. Either way, not a sized fish. Pinky again. Getting a little bit bigger though, which is good. You can hear the air coming out of him. There he goes. Here we go. That's a proper one. Oh, that's a proper. That's better. Whew. Hopefully this is a little dewy. That's what it feels like. You would have thought I'd get the net and everything ready first, hey, but no. It's heavy, whatever it is. Oh man. It actually doesn't, this doesn't, I don't know what, whoa, what the hell was that? I'd say it's a ray. Oh, it's a shark. Oh. It's a little tiny bronzy. Oh man, I don't want a shark. I will net him. I don't want to let the lure, lose the lure to him, so generally I don't like bringing sharks on the boat if I can avoid it, but oh God. Snap my rod. You bastard. All right, now you're definitely coming on the boat. That is why you don't high stick your rods. Yeah, that's not repairable. Oh my God, what an expensive day that's turned out to be now. Anyway, we'll get this off and retire that outfit by the looks of it. You bludger. Get him away safely. I want to do this without losing fingers. He's all wrapped up under there. Alright, there he is, a little shark. Cute little. There he is, the little bugger. We'll let him go. And look what he's done to my rod. Oh my lord. Well, my one-piece jigging rod is now a two-piece. But nobody's fault other than my own. I genuinely should have known better than that, so that's what you get. That's what you get when you don't pay attention. The lure was pretty impressive. It did a good job considering. Shark hasn't damaged any of it. Still got all its legs. Oh, for the sake of fishing time and efficiency, I'm just going to swap the lures back over again. The little octopus lure is a pretty good little lure, but it's so slow to sink. So it's just costing me too much time. I want to get down to the bottom. Know I'm on the bottom. Find the fish. Hook the fish and get it done. That jig's just taking too long to get down there in this environment, but that's okay. I'm looking forward to using it in some shallow water, just casting out the back and wafting it around for the pinkies in shallow. So that's really what I got them for. And back down with the old faithful butterfly jig. So straight away I know I'm on the bottom. God, this is a real erratic fish. Whatever this thing is. Not a really big pinky at all. There we go. So when I put the muley on these hooks, I like to put the hook through just behind the eye. There's a hard part in the head. I find if you go through there, it's actually really solid. Like it doesn't usually let go. Muleys are renowned for being a soft bait and coming off the hook. So if you put one hook through there and they do get the meat off, then at least the head stays on. Baldies and snapper, they don't mind the heads, so it gives you a little bit longer bottom time. I would say it's another pinky. Come up a bit slower on him. They all seem to be that size. It's sort of 40-45 centimetre size, so thank you. Best possible outcome there. He let himself go. I didn't have to handle him. They seem to be all that just undersized models. Well, we want the one that's going to be just oversized. That'll be nice. It's a bonus, really. It's not necessary. It's just great to be back out here again. It's been so long. I've been away for over a week and then came back, and then the very first day I was back, straight back out to work again. And then up north, working away for a couple of days. So I haven't had much of a chance to do anything. Still haven't seen any surface action yet. I've had that floating muley out now for a little while. Well, half an hour. It's not really seen any action, so surprising considering all the bait that was there. It's not real big, again. They're getting smaller. They're going the wrong way. Oh, sorry, buddy. There you go. Just wanted to be borderline sized. So they're getting a bit bigger. It's a nice little fish. I'll give him a measure in a minute. 45. So that's undersized. We'll let him go. Should release okay. He did have a bit of air in his bladder, but that's come out now, so off he goes. The spikes on the guy under the nail tickle. I'm definitely liking it a bit more as the bait's moving. we go, another one. Feels like the same size again. Another one the same sort of size. With both of those jig hooks in him. Oh, you always got to try and mix it up. I'm always saying that. I really would love a baldy. Baldies love things with shells, so out come the prawns. Let's see how that works. Oh, I don't know what this is, but the way it's flapping like that feels shark or stingray-ish. Stingray for sure, I reckon. Sometimes you just never know, eh? Could be a dewy, but I'm pretty sure this is a ray. Yeah, it's a ray. Shoot the legal ray. There he goes. This is a sprightly little fish, this one. Could be a it could be a skippy or another undersized pinky. Another little pinky. Can't get away from the small models. This one's got a little bit more go. No. That's still going to be about a 48 centimetre one. 43, not even 48, 43 centimetre. Yeah, it's pretty slow today, but if there's one thing that always gets the bite going, it's using a rod that's not really meant for the application. So what I'm going to do is put my lure back on here for maybe a troll later on, and then I'm going to take out the little rod, because we all know what happens. The smallest rod usually catches the biggest fish, or at least gets the bite. So out comes the little 2 kilo rod. So we're going to take the little rod, drop the little rod down, little 2 kilo stick. Oops. A lot of the time that smaller line class, well, from a visual perspective, the fish can't see the line. With a bit of luck, that'll turn on the bite for me. Because at the moment, it's just really quiet. Here we go. Yes. Oh no, like I said, a little rod. Oh my gosh. This feels like another stingray. Oh my goodness. Oh, what is this thing? I'm going to take my time with him. There's not too much reef out here, so oh man. I don't know that this is the stingray. Whatever it is, it's a good sized fish for such a small rod. Funny, you know, I was saying, a smaller rod usually gets the bigger bite. Even in the murky water, that tends to be the case. We are worried about the leaders being visible and the fish getting spooked. I can see the fish down there now. It's definitely not a ray. It's a sambo. Oh man, the only half decent pull I've had all day long, and it's a sambo. Explains why it was going so hard. I'll get this lure out of him. There he is, little rat sambo. Good fun on the little rod. I'm not going to keep him. He's sized, but they're not much eating. Not much, well actually they're not too bad. They're not too bad eating, but a lot of the times they got worms in them. Not usually the smaller ones like that, but it's not worth keeping. You're not going to be able to see it on the camera, but right out on the horizon there's a couple of humpback whales just literally jumping out of the water and splashing. It's crazy. They are a huge animal. Oh, there we go. Something. This is not a wrasse. It's probably another pinky. I might even go close to sized. Oh, nah. It's another 45er. Far out, I just can't get away from these size. Nice fish. Unfortunately undersized, so he's got to go back. Look at the colours on. Iridescent blues and pinks. There are plenty of them down there at that size, far out. Okay, this one is a little bit heavier, a lot heavier. Oh yeah. What is this? Finally. It's a good sized baldy. Beautiful. Whew, I'll get the hooks out of him and have a look at him, eh? A nice sized baldy. Reasonably well hooked. So there he is. It's a nice sized baldy on the jig. That's exactly what I was after. Baldchin Groper are my favourite. I definitely prefer the harder baits, so crabs and prawns and that sort of thing. So that's why I've been using the prawns. He is making an absolute mess of this, or I am. There he is. That's a nice fish. Beautiful colours. Some teeth on him. Some chompers on him. Got to be happy with that. So I'm gonna spike this fish and stick it on ice. I want to put it on ice as quick as possible so he stays nice and fresh. And that'll be my dinner. Oh. All right. I don't know what this one is, but he feels a bit heavier than that last baldy. Jeez. Again on the little gear. Whoa, it's a nice fish. Oh, come on. One thing's for sure, it's definitely a little more awkward fighting good sized fish on this little rod because it's got no real butt on it, so there's not a lot of opportunity to get good leverage. This is a nice pinky. Oh. Went that up a bit too short, anyway. It's a nice pinky. All right, let's get him up and have a look at him. Okay, so there it is. Nice little pink snapper with that jig in the corner of his jaw. I'm going to take this fish too. It's probably going to be a while before I'm able to get out again, so I'll it's not going to go to waste. That baldy is going to be dinner tonight, and then this one here will be dinner again for the next 2 nights. So I do like pinkies as well. They're very good eating when they're this size in particular. When they get a bit bigger, they're probably a bit too dry, but this is a perfect eating size, so I'll take this fish. All right, so pretty quiet day up front, but got it done in the end. Nice Baldchin Groper and a pink snapper, so I'm heading in now. The bait's in the pot, so it's ready to go. Now I'm going to take that pot into one of the shallow reefs and just set that. That's going to soak for a few days. I'll put bait in it anyway because it's, you never know, sometimes you do catch the crays even before soaking the pot. Sometimes it doesn't really matter. So we'll set that, and with a bit of luck over the course of the next couple of weeks it'll give us an indication of when the crayfish start moving, and then I'll start setting some more pots. We'll see you guys in there. pick the right time to come through so they don't get swamped. Look at the size of these swells. I just tuck in behind this swell like this and follow it basically at the same speed. That's what I'm looking for, that big drop off there where it comes from 10 metres up to 6. Oh, the water is really murky. So, unfortunately I ran out of battery power on my GoPro right when I launched that, but there's the cray pot there. So there's a reef ledge along here. The idea is I've dropped that cray pot in the sand, but right up against that reef. It's probably only a metre or so off the reef. So the crays will walk out onto the sand to get into the net, or pot, sorry. And when that starts happening, the whites are on. Okay, now we've got that pot set, it's time to go home. Clean these fish up. Well, it was a pretty hard day out there today. Not really a lot going on. A lot of small fish. Oh, a lot of small snapper. But in the end we ended up getting one nice snapper and one baldy. Ooh. So I'm going to fill those up now and bag them up and have that baldy for dinner. Thanks guys. Look, I haven't been able to get out there much lately, so it's been a bit of a challenge with work and everything else that's going on, but hopefully I can get out a little bit more from now moving forwards. I've set out one cray pot, I want to set out another the next time I go out and start getting ready for the white run, which will, well, probably realistically start in 4 to 5 weeks time. Usually the beginning of December is where it sort of kicks off, but I want to get out there nice and early and hopefully get those early whites and the last of the reds that start to want to walk off the reef into the sand. So with a bit of luck we might see a few of those. Alright guys, thanks for being patient with me, and if you want to see more of this content, please like, share and subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you out there. You can see why they call them blue bone. Literally blue bones in there. Look how white that meat is. Oh.